People of Earth, good evening. Welcome to this edition 86 of Star Nation News. Tonight, we are going to see what is going on in the star system with an incredible new visitor. You will know everything about it, so it will be something quite interesting you're looking forward to. We will also see how the galaxy heals from the defeat of two very regressive empires. And finally, we will have some updates from Prince Ea about the status of peace in the galaxy. So fasten your seatbelts and engage. On August 9, very recently, I was shown, from my contact in the Galactic Federation of Worlds, a close-up to an incredible object that is visiting us at the moment in the star system, the Sol system. But before I tell you exactly my impression of what I saw, I'm going to tell you a little bit about it. 3I Atlas. What is it? He is an interstellar visitor. Not exactly in the sense of visiting space rock or visiting comet, but a visiting being. It will be visible in the sky of Earth until September 2025, when it will go behind the Sun. And its orbit, counter-ecliptic, will drive him outside of the Sun, well, from behind the Sun, in December 2025. 3I Atlas will be the closest to Earth when it will be behind Sol, the Sun, around October 30th. What is it? It comes from, first, the constellation of Ophiuchus. Not that it comes from there, but it arrives from there. It doesn't originate from there. It is a very, very big object. It's actually between the orbits of Mars and Jupiter. And its size is about 6 miles or 10 kilometers wide, on about 50 kilometers long. Big to us, but not that big when we speak in terms of distance in space. This object is about several billion years old. It's, as I said, its closest approach to Earth will be on October 30th, and when it will be at the perihelion of the Sun. This object is an explorer. And before I tell you more about it, I'm going to show you a video I posted straight after Thorhan contacted me on August 9. I posted this video on TikTok and not everyone could see it, so here is now my recording just after I received a transmission from Thorhan, who happened to be on a mission near this object, and he showed me through our connected vision by technology. No channeling, I don't do that, as you know. He showed me something very interesting, so here is the video I am sharing with you. Oh my gosh, I was shown just right now the interstellar object 3E Atlas up close. It may seem incredible, but I am an ET contactee. My name is Elena Danan, and I have been abducted at 9 years old, rescued by tall, blonde, Nordic-type extraterrestrials working for the Federation of Worlds, Galactic Federation of Worlds. Okay, they have an implant there's an implant in my head that allows me to communicate with them like a walkie-talkie. And also the threads of this implant are plugged with my nervous system and my optic nerves, so we can exchange sights. You know, I can see through my contact's eyes and he can see through mine. He was my contact. Thorhan is his name. He's a Pleiadian. He's a high commander, and he has sometimes he's going for a trip in space in the star system. Anyways, he was on board a scout ship of the Federation, and he contacted me and he said, "Hey, guess what? I'm gonna show you something." And I'm still, wow, he was showing me, it was very dark space and a kind of a rock, space rock, but it was seen from the front, so it looked round and with a sort of haze around it. And I said, "What are you showing me? Space rock? You are just bothering me for that?" And he said, "Oh no, look closer." And he drove the ship along it, turned around, and I could see the long shape, rocky shape. And I went, "Oh my gosh, is that the 3E Atlas that's in our star system at the moment?" He said, "Yes, I'm there, and I'm showing to you what it is like." Oh my gosh. And so there was a haze around it, but I said, "It's not a comet, it has no eyes, so how come there's a slight haze around it?" And he said, "Look closer, I'm going to show you through the haze." And it was a rocky, very, very long, like Oumuamua, same type of thing. And when the ship got closer, the haze dissipated. And it was a holographic shield. The haze is a holographic shield that when you try to remote view this thing or to try to take photos from outside or from the Earth, you see a space rock. But if you go through the holographic shield, you see the actual spaceship. It is a transport cargo. So I could see little windows on the side, and it was not lit up, all dark. And here is what Thorhan told me. There is no pilots, no crew in it, nothing. But this thing is one of these ancient ships who have a own consciousness, a plasmic consciousness in it. They are alive. They are living space beings. Okay? And they are more ancient. This one is more ancient than our star system. It comes from very far away, very ancient times, and it didn't want to be noticed, so it came from the center of the galaxy axis. Then we couldn't see it approach because it's very bright, and then it came here, and now it's exploring our star system. It's very curious. It is called an explorer, and it's going to go back after it turns around. And these beings, as I explained in my talks, you know, I'm an international speaker. I do conferences about exotechnology. And as I explain it, and also in my books, these beings, they recharge and they feed from stars, from gravitational fields, and especially gravitational fields from the stars. They're the biggest. And they're going to go, and where there is gravity, there is energy. Why? Because gravity are longitudinal waves, and it just goes through the ether that is composed of tiny particles, atoms, because space is not empty. And the gravitational waves are going to just excite the atoms and the particles of ether, and then it's going to create frill, or energy, from the void, which is not really. And so that's why stars produce energy, because they emit these gravity waves. And these beings, they travel from star to star to feed. It's beautiful. The universe is beautiful. So I saw 3E Atlas. It is not a comet. It is not a space rock. It is a ship. I wouldn't say a ship. It is a being. It's alive. And it is positive. It is very wise, very ancient. These beings live out of linear time. So for them, time is nothing. And it's very kind, it's very nice. So when it comes close to Earth, that would be super cool to tune our consciousnesses to this beautiful being who is coming in the disguise of a space rock. So be ready for extraterrestrial contact. This is beautiful. So I'm glad I could share this with you. Keep tuned, and the universe is amazing. Yes, you've understood it. This being is called an explorer. This is their kind. They explore planet and star system and they gather information. So it is a spaceship, oblong, like cigar shape, which has a holographic shield, this haze that we see that is abnormal for a rock. Usually hazes are around comets, who are blocks of ice coming from the Oort cloud and melting down as it approaches the sun. But this object comes from outside of this star system. And if you remember well, High Commander Kira told us also who can come through the plasma shield of the star system and what cannot.
There are a tremendous number of interstellar objects, all moving more or less along and around the galactic plane. The ether is also filled with all sorts of particles, with denser zones alternating with thinner zones in an illogical fashion. Often, objects intercept each other. Fortunately, our planetary systems are well protected by the plasma shields of our stars. A star's gravitational torsion field extends to a limit proportional to its mass-to-velocity ratio. As with a spaceship, the torsion field creates a plasmic shell that prevents interception with other objects. Your comets, they originate from within your star system, specifically from the ice ring that you call the Oort cloud. Interstellar objects need to pass through the plasma shield. This is an exception, as passive objects are usually diverted from the plasma shield by galactic gravitational currents. Though rare, it does happen that a natural object passes through the shield. Unnatural interstellar objects, such as spaceships, are most likely to pass through because they have their own torsion field. You can have spaceships that look like rocks, either for camouflage or because it is a particular way of doing things for some cultures. The Zenate are masters at it. The Intergalactic Confederation does that a lot too. These objects may be abandoned or remote probes sent by a mothership somewhere out there. They may also carry a crew or be inhabited by a consciousness. Yes, living beings.
The plasma shield is something that shields this star system from any space rocks, space particles, because this star system is going high speed on the ecliptic of Nataru, this galaxy, and we will be bombarded all the time. But we're not, because of the plasma shield, due to the torsion field of this star. Every star generates a torsion field, which is an electromagnetic field that bends space and time, and that is something quite impenetrable. The star system has such a thing, generated by the star. So then, what can pass through? Only technology and objects that are artificially driven through the plasma shield with engine, and which has also, of course, a torsion field to shield it from plasma, and from radiations. So this thing is coming here. And this being feeds off the gravity of the stars, of planets, of course, but they don't get a lot from planets. They get a lot from the gravity longitudinal waves generated by the stars. It also boosts them on their course. They arrive and they bounce and accelerate from the gravitational fields of the stars. This being is a plasmic consciousness. It is positive, benevolent, and does not want to interfere or interact with living beings in the star system or anywhere else. They are explorers. They are not interfering beings. They're just curious and they gather information. They are not, absolutely not, a threat. Of course, the deep state on Earth that is remaining a bit tries to any occasion to plug the fake alien invasion. But people are not fooled anymore. This is quite now laughable. This is not a threat. This is not going to collide Earth. We need to get out of the medieval nonsense of fear porn. This being is part of a race that inhabits spaceships, can inhabit rocks, big structures, or asteroids sometimes, or moons. It is similar to the being that is in the core center of Earth moons, Luna. Remember, if you follow Star Nation News, you will remember the discovery of the pods and the access to the core central consciousness of Luna. And this being, Three-Eye Atlas, is similar to, if you remember, the famous now Bethlehem, which is a beautiful being, a plasmic consciousness that arrived on Earth a long time ago in a spaceship and was taken to Area 51. And David Adair, the inventor, check him out. He was at JSIC and I had the pleasure to meet him, connected when he worked in Area 51 with this being. And she kind of hooked him and went with him. A being of such a stature cannot incarnate into a human body because the human bodies are too small, too tiny, and cannot fathom this powerful consciousness. They can attach and they will follow the person as a plasmic, etheric cloud. And I have had the opportunity to meet and see Bethlehem as an indigo blue haze around David. And he said, "Oh, wow, you are seeing her. She's showing herself to you." I say, "Yes, I'm so privileged. I feel so privileged." So these beings are curious and they are not living on linear time. For them, time is a time field. So for beings like them, a billion year can be experienced like a year in their experience of time, or as a second, or as an eternity. Eternity is present in every fractal of second, because eternity is the time field, and it inhabits every parsec of second. Three-Eye Atlas is studying our star system, feeding off soul and bouncing to accelerate its course. It is going to show us, because it analyzes, it scans us, and it knows we're ready to understand about their existence. He's scanning. And he's going to interact a little bit. Not to interfere, but interact means showing He is not a simple space rock. So I hope you will have the opportunity to connect with Atlas and the name we gave him, Three-Eye Atlas, because it is time we acknowledge the existence of life forms that are of a different nature. Diversity in this universe is incredible, unfathomable, because there is so much life. Everything is possible. Every life forms that defy your imagination are out there. They are not all benevolent. They are not all malevolent. And you can never trust the appearance. When diversity becomes so vast, it becomes oneness. It becomes creation. Talking about diversity, I want to inform you on the different types of Nordics. Very quickly, I will go over this in my webinar upcoming on August 31st in details. But I want just to tell you that when you hear Nordic being aliens, it's not because they are tall blonde that they're nice. Aldebaran hosts a very, very negative faction of humans who are related to the Anachim. They were involved in the German secret space programs. They've helped the Siccar Empire and the Nazis, for instance, and so the Altair and Achori. Also, in the Alcyon star system in the Pleiades, human-looking ETs have also collaborated with the dark factions on Earth and the deep state. The Tal Shiar. All of these people are also humans. It's like on Earth. It's the same in the galaxy. There are people, service to self, service to evil, and there are people, service to good, to love, and to others. And so is creation. The duality exists everywhere, in everything. This is the cosmic alchemy of creation. In the star system, we are finally soaring to the stars. The moon is already inhabited. Mars is already inhabited. You don't know about it. But Mr. Musk is in charge of catching up the gap of knowledge between what is really going on Mars and that you don't see. Can you see Mars from here? No, you can rely only on photographs that you are fed with. What's really going on Mars? A terraforming. Cities prepared for the new colonies coming soon to Mars. 2027. And the great Martian adventure. You will be able to be part of it. Every time I see children around me on this planet, I see the future. I see what they're going to do, who they are going to be, where they're going to go. And many are going to explore not only this star system, but the stars, the galaxy and beyond. This is an incredible time we're living in because we are the bridges for these new humans of the future. In Nataru, also healing from the defeat of the Siccar Empire and the Nebu, that is dealt with. Let's see that first. Chronologically, the Nebu Empire was settled in the Orion Zone. The nebula is now being dissected, analyzed, studied, searched by the Federation because they are finding all the great technology, understanding that technology, that culture, and it's now a big field of research. And it's very interesting. They're finding a lot of technology hidden in the nebula, and you have these pairs of artificial stars, these binomes of artificial stars, were artificially created to store hive consciousness and plasmic technology. The Greys were very advanced. Well, when I mean the Greys, I mean the Nebu. The Greys are not all nefarious people. They are, well, they are called by the galactics, the nations, the star nations, the Do. Do means Greys. The Do, or Greys, formed a Nebu Empire in the Orion Zone. That's what we've been dealing with since the Orion Wars and up through to 2021, when science officer Sarah Denethor managed to crack the code of the hive. The star systems in the Orion Zone are healing. They are being re-terraformed. The original planetary hives where the Do were living are being reformed. And they are given a second chance. They reset to a new start. There is no more empire. Because what the Nebu from the Eban from Betelgeuse had done was to create a super hive queen by merging the planetary queens of different Do cultures. Now the super hive queen has been put down, dismantled, destroyed by the Federation, and now the planetary hives have reformed under the supervision of the Council of Al-Nilam, or Council of Zagara. And the planets that were assimilated by the Nebu are now reformed, re-terraformed, and the ancient cultures from the Orion Wars are invited to go back to their home world. But first, they need to work and cooperate at the re-terraforming of their worlds to make them livable again, atmosphere, structures, cities, for colons to arrive. And that is what is happening as well in the Lyran zone, in the man system notably, but not only. There are over 60 star systems in the Lyran zones that were ransacked by the Sika Empire and were dependents of the empire. But now they are reassigned back to their original cultures. But that's a long time ago. So, the Lan, the Ahil, the Tali, all these people are invited to go back to their worlds, but same as in the Orion Zone, they must first work in cooperation with the Federation and the Intergalactic Confederation at re-terraforming their worlds back to the original state, the original template. The Intergalactic Confederation did the same to Earth, Ki, 65 million years ago, when they found Ki, and it was already taken by reptilians, still from Alpha Draconis. Same story, except that the Naga, the culture that was there, didn't assimilate any local culture because it was hundreds, million years ago. Earth was still at its beginning. The Cedars re-terraformed it to give it a chance. And that's what they do. So it's very, very lucky we are all working together to reconstruct what was destructed. And on these matters, I'm going to invite you to listen to Anach Prince Ea about diplomatic galactic peace. Prince Ea has embraced his role as peace ambassador in this galaxy. After the defeat of Enlil, Anu has now acquired a sense of freedom and peace. This old karma is gone. Anu once owned nearly the whole galaxy, I'd say 2/3 of the galaxy, even more. 3/4, let's say, to be more precise. And with time and wisdom, he's given up on trying to be this young, impetuous emperor who wanted to conquer creation. He's receded territories to people who wanted them. And now, I would say the Anna Empire is not as powerful as before, but it is still very powerful since it has joined the Galactic Alliance and made of it the United Galactic Alliance. Well, things have changed. The balance have shifted, tilted in this galaxy, and now everything is balanced. And Ea is embracing his role of seconding his father Anu, Anuatara, the emperor. Ea, who has his headquarters on the Nibiru mothership, it's not a planet, is residing on his mothership in the lower atmosphere of Jupiter, just in the clouds. And he is from there because, Nibiru moves sometimes into this soul star system, but because he stays there, because we still have some work, him and I, to do here on Earth. But from there, he comes and goes to different missions. He uses these Federation cargo ship transporters that can teleport from one point to the other. It's quantum transportation. These cigar-shaped ships who have these little windows. They can welcome scout ships and other ships inside, and they use quantum transportation to go to other places in this galaxy. Ea is thrilled to have embraced this role of peace ambassador of the Anna Empire, mediator for peace in Nataru, is very well respected wherever he goes. People fear him because he is very, very powerful. Very powerful. I remember Thoran once said to me, "But you really know who Ea is?" And I went, "What I think?" He said, "No, but you really know who he is?" I said, "Come on, say." And he said, Ea has become a cosmic alchemist, and he is the most powerful being in this galaxy after the Nine. So I wouldn't really challenge him too much. He has proven to just do what he says. From Ea's eyes, because we're always connected, I can see sometimes the cultures he's meeting, species, races, as I never could think it exists, It's incredible, everything that's out there, incredible. And he's finding compromises. He's helping as a mediator cultures who cannot find a common ground for agreement. So he's going to go there and study this culture and meet them separately first. He's done the same with the Arek, you remember. Thanks to him, the Arek have left us alone, you know? He's then is going to study what are the different things that bring these two cultures together. And he's going to work on that and bring them together and say, hey, now you need to let go of what divides you, upon which you cannot find agreements. Just let this go and focus on what do you have in common? Can you work together? to build something on it, something new. And that's what it does. This is wonderful. AI is a great, brilliant mind, and is a fantastic, beautiful heart. His mission as an immortal is moved by love. Compassion is the higher form of love. It's the cement of creation. It is what binds the universe together. It is what makes the creation work. And Ea knows about these things. And he's devoted for the whole infinite length of his immortality to this quest, bringing balance, love, peace, and harmony. And this is what the future of Earth is about. Finding what connects us to one another and build something new on it. You know, when I see the children on this planet, I see through their soul who they are, where they come from, who they are going to be, where they are going to go and what they are going to do. And I see so many children flying through the stars, going on Mars, going on Jupiter, going beyond the star system, in Alpha Centauri and other places. And that's when I realize, and I want to share with you, how much we need to understand that we are the bridges for these new humans of tomorrow. We need to set them on course. And what sets them better on course? To encourage them to develop their potential, the gifts they brought here on earth with them, and also to find what binds them together. That they become the architects. Now, this is when the architects are born. It is now. It is the beginning. It is the beginning now. So on these words, Ea and I would like to wish you a wonderful week ahead. And don't forget, on September 19 to 21st, I will be in Charlotte, North Carolina. And I will tell you everything about Genesis, about Ea and I, about creation, and about who I am, what name I have been bearing, and what I have done to help humanity. And I will guide you through understanding what really happened in the Genesis. Don't miss this appointment with the truth, the revelation, because this will reveal who you are. And another person who will be with me will be JP, a beautiful, beautiful soul that I know. I know him, I see him, and I know who he is. He is an ambassador for love. Same as he is an ambassador for peace, for love as well, but more for peace. It's his function. But JP is the ambassador for love. And what better proof is to meet someone's frequency than you know. Among other wonderful people, I invite you to not miss this opportunity, because you will see his face to face without mask. So be there, and be also there on Sunday, 31st of August, for this webinar where I will give you much more information on everything I've been speaking about. All the questions I've been seeing passing on social media, I've noted them, plus your upvoted questions. So be there August 31st. That's going to be 3 hours Q&A. And I encourage you to find a little joy in every day, even if it's hard, even if you don't see much light. Sometimes there is something that you don't notice, but that can bring you a little joy that can tip over the frequency of that day, and in turn bring joy to others. I will see you next week for another Star Nation news, and may the love of creation be with you. What is love?
What binds us, you and I. Love is the link holding eternity and infinity together in the oneness of consciousness.
You have achieved immortality, which is eternity captured into physicality. Your envelope doesn't age, and you can modify its appearance at will, looking young and healthy, even though you're a million years old.
Not exactly. I am not that old. I am only 500,000 of your years. In my time, it is much less. But who is to say? I don't live in gravitational time anymore. I am free.
You are beautiful.